Welcome to this explainer. Rice really isn't just a basic pantry commodity anymore. As we look at 2026, it's actually a high-margin culinary asset. Today, we're diving straight into the highly competitive retail landscape to uncover exactly why stocking premium Pakistani basmati drives incredible customer loyalty and honestly much higher profitability for your business. Whether you're managing a massive retail chain or making the buying decisions for a local ethnic grocery, the stakes for getting your inventory right have literally never been higher. So let's start with a really crucial question for anyone in retail or distribution. What exactly is making premium long-grain basmati so incredibly popular with consumers right now? To understand this massive shift from just a standard staple to a premium powerhouse, we really need to get inside the mind of the 2026 shopper. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to quickly cover the retail landscape, the actual anatomy of premium rice, global market preferences, the ROI of quality, and finally, direct sourcing strategies. Let's jump right in. All right, Section 1, the retail landscape in 2026. We need to recognize right off the bat that retail buyers evaluate rice completely differently from wholesale importers. A wholesaler might just look at bulk pricing and massive volume metrics, right? But the modern retail buyer is hyper-focused on the end user's actual kitchen experience. Think about how we shop today. Consumers literally buy with their eyes first. Long before they ever taste the product, they are scrutinizing transparent packaging, they're zooming in on digital product listings, and they're reading online cooking reviews just to judge things like elongation and separation. They're visually judging this product way before they even hit the checkout aisle. So whether you are stocking the shelves of a massive USA supermarket chain, running a specialized ethnic grocery, or supplying high-end restaurants, your customer is chasing that exact same restaurant-quality experience at home. They aren't just looking for sustenance anymore. They want reliable cooking performance and a premium appearance that totally elevates their meal. Moving on to Section 2, the anatomy of premium, specifically focusing on aroma and grain length. These are your two main pillars that separate standard rice from a product that commands top dollar. Now, the word basmati literally translates to queen of fragrance. And the science behind that? It comes down to a naturally occurring chemical compound called 2-acetyl-1-pyrroline. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, but this compound is what makes authentic basmati so incredibly special. It's kind of like aging a really fine wine or whiskey. This compound develops during careful cultivation and months of controlled aging. It creates this amazing emotional anticipation of a meal the absolute second a customer opens the bag. Basically, aroma is your emotional hook. It signals deep authenticity. But grain length, that is the physical proof. When a consumer actually sees those long, slender grains that elongate beautifully instead of just getting fat and widening in the pot, that premium price tag suddenly makes perfect sense to them. Okay, Section 3, global market preferences. Because, let's be real, a one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't fly in global trade. What sells perfectly in Toronto might not be the exact spec they demand in Dubai. We're actually seeing a really fascinating split in global tastes right now. If you look at North American buyers, they heavily prioritize visual perfection. We're talking flawless whiteness, extreme elongation, and highly uniform grading for those premium supermarket segments. But pivot over to the GCC in the Middle East, it is all about that traditional, powerful aroma. Their regional dishes depend heavily on fragrance and aging quality way more than just pure visual whiteness. This perfectly aligns with what our source material points out. Retailers benefit immensely from matching their product specs to regional preferences, rather than just pushing identical specs to every single export destination. You simply can't rely on a blanket stocking strategy. You absolutely have to tailor your offerings to the primary buying factors of your exact customer base. Which brings us to Section 4, comparing price and quality, the ROI. Let's talk financials, because premium quality obviously comes with a different price tag, but the return on investment is huge. While a standard grade might run you between $900 and $1,050 per metric ton, the premium 1121 White Basmati commands a premium of roughly $300, putting it between $1,150 and $1,350. Why the jump? Well, you aren't just buying rice. You're buying incredibly precise grading, drastically lower breakage, phenomenal cooking elongation, and ultimately, zero customer complaints. Plus, check out this operational advantage: 24 months. When properly stored using multi-layer food-grade packaging, these premium grades boast a shelf life of up to 2 full years. That is a massive 33% increase compared to standard 18-month grades. That directly reduces your retail shrink and really protects your inventory investment over time. All right, our final section, number 5,
direct sourcing strategies. Because honestly, all this premium talk means absolutely nothing if you can't actually source the product reliably. Think of these 5 steps as a strictly enforced quality gauntlet that the rice has to survive before it ever hits your store. First, selecting the exact right variety, like 1121 White Basmati. Then, it needs 12 to 18 months of controlled aging. After that comes modern processing and optical sorting for absolute purity, accurate grading for perfect uniformity, and finally, protective food-grade packaging to lock all that freshness right in. Now, relying on international trading companies might seem convenient on paper, but in reality, it's often a major gamble with your consistency. Direct sourcing from experienced exporters is really the only way to guarantee total traceability. It gives you far stronger control over the origin, the aroma retention, the grading, and basically makes sure those specs don't wildly fluctuate from one shipment to the next.
A great example of doing this right is looking at experienced direct exporters out of Pakistan, like AHK Rice. They oversee the whole shebang, all the way from procurement straight out of the Punjab fields to advanced optical sorting, right down to custom private label, or OEM packaging, designed for your specific brand. That ensures your exact premium specs never waver, whether you're shipping to the US, Canada, Europe, or the GCC.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one absolutely critical question about your own supply chain. When your customers open that bag of rice on their kitchen counter, are they getting an unforgettable premium aromatic experience, or is it a roll of the dice? Your sourcing strategy is what decides that. Thanks so much for joining me today to unpack the business case for premium basmati.